Hi, everyone. So, this is perhaps the most important community update video that I've ever done for you all. This beautiful community of those interested in and practicing non-dual Tantra, specifically non-dual Shaiva Tantra, but other kinds as well. And I just want to share with you from the heart, Tantrika Institute, which was born 2 years ago, is a dream. It's a dream of a physical space and an online space in which people can learn and study the beautiful teachings and practices of non-dual tantra in a way that's in a sense free, right? Because the, some aspects of the tradition have been sort of bound in a kind of moribund institutionalism. Other aspects of the tradition have been hidden and inaccessible, overly esoteric. Some teachings and practices of the tradition, you can only get access to through initiation, which is either expensive or demanding or both. And Tantrika Institute, in many ways, is an attempt to bring the tantric tradition into the 21st century. And there's a lot that could be said about that enterprise, but to give people access to the teachings and practices of this beautiful tradition, this powerful tradition, in an unprecedented new way, to give them access without the old restrictions which no longer apply, utilizing the tools of the internet. Um, so this is a beautiful dream, and some of you might say, well, will the dreams come true? Well, it's still in the process of coming true, right? Because actually, we need and are inviting more and more teachers to eventually become a part of this space, both online and on site, and we hope to realize that dream more effectively next year as well. We're planning a classical Tantra summit with many, many, many different teachers. So that's exciting. And we hope to have more events here at our physical property, which has been inhibited in its growth by COVID. And so I want to tell you a little story and also share some news with you that might be a little bit shocking for some. Um, so the story is the true story, right? Is that we acquired this property here in Portugal at very short notice. It was a stroke of luck or a gift of grace or both, and we acquired it just before the pandemic began. We acquired it before anyone had any idea that a pandemic was coming, but just months before, really. And to acquire the property, we borrowed quite a bit of money from community members who were willing to lend it. So I call them our investors. It's a nicer word than creditors. And we we're so excited to have this place, and we've already shared it with many many dozens. I don't know, more than 100 of you. But still a small percentage of the community in total. We've built a beautiful yoga shala here. We've built my own personal wood cabin, which you see here. We've built a new bathhouse. So we've done so much amazing work here, and we've built an online space. Right, we built the uh, Tantrika online learning portal 1.0. And then when we decided that that was not adequate to our needs, in various ways, we built Tantrika Online 2.0, which just went up recently in the last month or two, and is slowly growing. So when we acquired the property and borrowed all the money to buy it, we thought that the growth of the online learning portal would be faster than it's been. We thought we'd have more subscribers by now, and that the online um, uh, portal could, in a way, subsidize the on-site projects, the construction, and so on. So we had that vision, and it's not yet come true. Meaning we have something like 500 subscribers when we need double or triple that to make it work. Because Tantrika Institute, it's it's this beautiful dream, it's this beautiful coming true reality, but it also is a company, right? It also is a business. It's not a business that seeks to make a big profit. It's actually a business that just seeks to break even. But we function in and live in, for better and for worse, a capitalist society in which you need to make things work in the capitalist model, right? So Tantrika Institute is a community more than anything, but it is also a company and a business in which we generate revenue and then pay our staff members. Okay, so I personally have made a big sacrifice in creating Tantrika Institute, because my own income personally used to be much higher. I something like four times eight, six times, I don't know, I'm not good with math, but a lot higher before Tantrika Institute, um, because our revenues are such that I have to make sacrifices in order to pay the staff members, and others, not just me. Others have made sacrifices. Several senior staff members, you know, have worked for far less than their market rate, as it were, to just support this dream. About four of us, I would say. Um, so still, we have to make it work in terms of paying our bills, paying our staff, and paying back our investors. So what we finally did recently is we crunched all the numbers and say, can we do it? Because we committed to paying back our investors within 5 years. Now it's 4 years. Um, can with the revenue stream we have, can we pay our staff and pay our bills and pay back our investors? And unfortunately, the answer was crystal clear: no, we cannot. We do not have the revenue stream that allows us to pay our bills, pay our staff, and pay back our investors. And we would need a much larger revenue stream to do that. We would need double or triple the number of subscribers on the LMS, and we'll get there presumably. The LMS, sorry, means Learning Management System, which is the technical term for our online learning portal, which is, I hope you realize, not just a website, right? It's an interactive learning software environment that we built from scratch, and that does a lot of things far beyond what just a website does, right? So it's technical. I don't want to get into it, but anyway, point is, um, something had to give, because we can't default on the loans from our investors. We need to pay them back. We don't want to go bankrupt, and we don't want to sell the property, which was another possibility. It's like, maybe we thought about it. Maybe we have to just give up the dream. Maybe we have to sell Tantrika Institute Portugal, our retreat center, so we can pay those people back. Um, and the whole thing's just a wash. But we don't want to do that. So the only option left to us was to lay off a bunch of staff, and that's what we did this week, with extremely heavy hearts, with a lot of sadness, which we're still feeling. Um, we had to eliminate about 2/3 or more than 2/3 of our staff positions, and we're only, what, I don't know, 15 people or something like that, full-time and part-time people. And so that there goes most of our staff, including people that you know and love, and who are people who are grieving right now because they're very sad to sort of say goodbye to a career at Tantrika Institute that they had hoped for. And that, it's, we are a startup. Like, okay, we're not a tech startup, we're a completely different kind of startup, but we are that. And all those teething problems that startups have, we've had in spades. And I don't want to get into all the challenges behind the scenes, but there are and have been many like every challenge that you can think of. um because of course such an endeavor is also part of our spiritual path. That's the thing, is like our spiritual practice is all woven into this. And as you might know, when you sign up for awakening and liberation, the goddess gives you whatever you need for that process, which can sometimes be a lot of challenges and truly beneficial, but also tough learnings. So anyway, so that's the sort of shocking announcement. Yeah, we've had to cut way back, and the few remaining staff members have to work harder, and work smarter if possible, and see if we can see where we are in another 6 months or in another 8 months, and if we can make this work, or if we need to take more drastic measures like selling the retreat center. But hopefully we'll grow the number of subscribers before then, and that won't be the outcome, that more drastic one. So I want to share this with you because I want to be more and more transparent with the whole community. And invite your support, in terms of spreading the word, right? Word of mouth. Word of mouth is our absolute greatest. It's much better than any marketing. It's much better than any advertising. Is your word of mouth. If you could tell all your friends, who might be interested, right? Don't proselytize, right? But tell all your friends who might be interested about Tantrika Online Learning Portal, and give them that URL of tantrikainstitute.org, and tell them about what's on the learning portal too, because and many of you don't even know all that's there. Some of you are subscribers, some of you are not. Those of you who are not, please subscribe. That's the number one way you can support us. You can subscribe at the free, soon to be $7 level, or at the $49, soon to be $65 level. That's in US dollars. Anything helps. Like, and that's the number one way to support this vision and mission. And really, there's some exciting things coming if we can continue to keep this boat afloat. Um, very exciting things. And so I hope that all of you are willing to support by spreading the word about Tantrika Online. So what do you get with a subscription? You get hundreds of hours of recordings, of scriptural study, of workshops, of every kind of thing, really, of satsangs, Q&A sessions, Sanskrit classes, incredible amount of resources to support your spiritual life, and your all aspects, really, because now we are also having embodiment classes, like physical yoga classes, what we would call yogasana. We're having, we've got we've got intellectual materials, we've got meditative materials, heart opening meditations, guided, meditations of all sorts. I mean, I can't even list for you everything that's on this learning portal. It is becoming already the most comprehensive learning resource online for the tantric tradition in the English language, and certainly for the Shaiva, or Shiva Shakti tantric tradition. Presumably, there's a website but the Buddhists have put together that have ours thoroughly outclassed. But right, this is a different tradition that's much more, in a sense, open and organic and less institutionalized, and doesn't doesn't require, we don't require you to do, 100,000 prostrations before you can receive more advanced teachings, or log 100,000 repetitions of a certain mantra before you can receive an inner yoga practice. That's part of what makes this tradition different from, and I don't mean to criticize the Buddhist tradition in any way, shape, or form, because there's much, much, much beauty there, and much power, right, as well. But anyway, there are many things to be said about this tradition that differentiates it, that I won't get into more. So here we are. This is my community update. We're moving forward, and we invite your support in terms of subscribing to the Tantrika Online, in terms of inviting your friends and telling them about it, telling them some of what's on there. Oh, I mentioned we have a new embodiment curriculum, which is to say yogasana classes, or physical practice. And I'm actually going to start teaching one of these weekly classes. We have 5 classes every week. I'm going to start doing one of them myself. And so most of you have never seen me teach physical yoga. And so maybe you're interested in that. If so, get in there. And we have other great teachers. We have, you know, I don't know who's already on board and who's coming on board, so I don't want to list the names because some people are still coming on board. But we certainly have Kat Whitney, who's amazing, and we have several other people from our community coming on board as yoga asana teachers. Now, for those of you who also teach that want to be a part, like, please don't flood us with messages about that, because we already have as many teachers as we need for right now, and there's so many of you that are skilled at that, I know, but we're already good in that department for now, right? Maybe we'll expand that down the line. Then lastly, I should mention we have Near Enemies of the Truth course going up for sale soon. So if you have friends who might enjoy the Near Enemies of the Truth, but who are not ready to subscribe to a Tantrika learning portal, then they can acquire the Near Enemies of the Truth course separately. So that's going up. Just like people can purchase Real Story of Yoga separately without being a subscriber, soon they'll be able to purchase Near Enemies of the Truth course separately without being a subscriber. And it's included, of course, for those of you who are subscribers. And lastly, those of you who can come physically in person this month, late October, so very soon now, actually, in just over 2 weeks, we're having an informal retreat called an R&R retreat. Relax and rejuvenate, renew and refresh, whatever R&R words you like. It's going to be all of that. It's really going to be wonderful. This informal retreat we have in October this month, and we'll be having fireside chats and Q&As with myself, and even one-on-one time, because it's a small retreat. So if any of you can come to that, that's another way you can support us, because if we can fill that up, that would be wonderful. So that's that's what I have to share. And yeah, it would be wonderful if we could keep coming together as a community and make this dream a reality, And again, my heart goes out to those folks we've had to lay off, and it was kind of a sudden decision from their perspective, one we've been wrestling with, and finally realized we had to do, or because the other options were unpalatable, and we do need to go to more of a volunteer model as an organization and recruit more volunteers. That's another way people can support, but we're not quite ready to do that, because we've got to be clear about exactly what we need volunteers for before we recruit those folks, and how to do a volunteer model that really honors those people, so that they feel they've received at least as much as they've given. Right? We don't want a model that takes advantage of anyone like some other spiritual organizations have. So that's all in process as well. Yeah. Thank you for your time and attention. And I will be writing up the salient points of this video for a written post as well. And you can share your comments on this video or on the written post. And oh, by the way, lastly, really lastly, I'm going to be answering questions and responding to people on Tantrika Online, not on Facebook, right? I've already done that and I'm going to do it more. So if you want a direct response from me, get subscribed, get on the learning portal. Again, it's much more than a website. And I'll answer questions there and respond to private messages there. So I won't be responding to private messages on Facebook. Or public questions. I mean, I might a little bit, but mostly it's going to happen on the new platform. So see you there, please. Thank you. We love you, and we're all in this together. That's the name of the game. We're all walking each other home. So keep the connection, please, and we'll see you soon. Om.